Day 2, Night 2, a little more sedate. We came to night 2 so we didn't have to sit through an intro, and now he's fucking introducing. Did anyone come to the first night, what are we showing night 1?
Election and Ferris Bueller?
Yeah. It was awesome. I highly recommend, if you own those two DVDs, you have to try watching them back to back. It is insane to watch Matthew Broderick completely own high school and then immediately be lost in what's the place between heaven and hell? Purgatory.
Or
you guys are going to help me. Apparently I can't even talk tonight. It's good because I'm introducing the film. I came here the first time when I was like 15 years old. I grew up here in Los Angeles, and before I could even drive, I remember my parents dropped me off here once. My friend dragged me out to see this short film, The Incident at Owl Creek Bridge, and 2 small Hitchcock propaganda films that had been unreleased. And I just thought, what is this strange theater that plays films I've never heard of? And to this day, I still think, what is this strange theater that plays films I've never heard of? It's a magical place, and now that they have better seats, you can actually enjoy watching movies here, which is really nice. And I had a couple friends who introduced movies here, who did this programming thing, and I just thought that sounded like the coolest thing ever. So thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. Programming is a tricky thing here because you want to seem really cool and program really obscure things, but it's impossible to actually be obscure at the new Beverly Cinema. Every idea I came up with was something that you had actually shown in the last month. So I said, fuck it, I'm just going to go with films I like, and that's it. These are 2 films that had an enormous influence on me, Shampoo and Boogie Nights, for very different reasons, frankly. Boogie Nights, I guarantee I saw Boogie Nights before every single person in this room. I was at the first test screening of Boogie Nights. I actually just got one of those flyers while walking to a movie theater, and they tested it at the Beverly Center of all places. And I remember sitting in this audience of people who just did not understand the movie, and just being knocked on my ass. I mean, I had seen Hard 8, and I was already a fan, and when I saw Boogie Nights, it was just like, you know, I just knew everything was about to change, and as an aspiring director at the time, that had a huge impact on me. And Shampoo, Shampoo had an enormous impact, frankly, on Up in the Air, which in some ways is an homage to Shampoo. Just start the film. And look, having watched it again last night, frankly, I grew up in Beverly Hills, where this movie takes place, very close to when this movie was shot. So it is strange for me to watch that film. I know every intersection they're at. I mean, I could literally watch this movie shot by shot and tell you what street they're on. The bank that he goes in to get a loan, when I was 13, I got my first checking account in that exact bank. I mean, I feel strangely related to that film. But look, Shampoo is pretty close to a perfect film in my book. It's not a love triangle, it's a love pentagon, and it's not fancy at all. I think for any aspiring filmmakers in the room, this is exactly the kind of film you should aspire to make. It is a film that has no cool shots, no cool music, no cool dialogue. It's just honest and real and embarrassing, and talks about the things that we want without being romantic. It's about 5 people who want things that we all want, but are, we can't say these things out loud. And they never say it themselves out loud, but we know what they want. And they're gross and real and dirty and authentic and perfectly portrayed by the 5 actors in the film. I mean, look, how many of you have not seen this movie before? Just show of hands. I am so effing jealous of you right now. It's that good. The best monologue in this film is a monologue in which the actor can hardly say the words. How many films can you say that about? Usually the best monologue in a film is a guy just like powering through. Warren Beatty gets to his monologue, and it's his confrontation with Goldie Hawn towards the end of the film, where, you know, this is a movie about a man who sleeps with everyone he meets, and he's confronted about that. And in his monologue, he literally can't say the words. But that's what makes it real and honest and fantastic. Just to give you a little context, this was Hal Ashby's third movie in this group of three, Harold and Maude, The Last Detail, Shampoo. As a director, that makes me want to never direct again. I mean, it's such a perfect three films that were completely unique from each other, and inspiringly real and subtle. And the editing is fantastic. For those of you who don't know, Hal Ashby started out as an editor. He was Norman Jewison's editor, won an Oscar for In the Heat of the Night, and you can feel that in this film. You can feel how spare it is. The moments where they just, you know, instead of letting the scene go along, they just cut. They just cut away. They just cut out. It's a great moment where Carrie Fisher asks Warren Beatty if he wants to fuck, and he never even has to respond to her. Carrie Fisher's first film, by the way. Wait till you see her in this. For those of you who haven't seen this before, and when you think about this being her first role and how young she is, watch how little acting she does. She does no acting. I mean, this is my favorite kind. I hate acting. I love just people being honest and real, and she allows all the dialogue to do all the heavy lifting.